The iPhone 18 is coming early. In fact, we're learning right now that 2026 is going to be one of Apple's biggest years ever. Plus, we've got some new details on an iPhone Ultra coming soon and some surprise Apple releases set to happen before the end of the year. Lots of wild news happening in the Apple world this week, so here's everything you need to know. Also, huge thanks to Dbrand and their crazy cases and their even crazier deals for sponsoring this video. So a couple of days ago, we got a bombshell report from kind of Apple insider / top journalist scooper. Is that a word? Top Apple scoop guy? I don't know. He always gets the scoops. Mark Gurman over at Bloomberg, who basically laid out Apple's roadmap for 2026 and exposed a couple of real big changes. Apple is changing their iPhone kind of window, the lineup and what they're going to do with those phones. They're changing the iPhone release strategy on when they usually do things, I think, which is long overdue. And then also we're learning they're kind of changing who is leading the company. We've been talking a while about what a post Tim Cook-led Apple would look like and who could fill that role. And now it looks like we finally have a 98% clear answer. Now, for a while, we thought Tim Cook's replacement as COO, Jeff Williams, was going to take over the head spot. But given the fact that he is now officially retired and gone from Apple, that is obviously not going to happen. Fan favorites, of course, would be people like Craig Federighi, Johnny Ive, maybe in a real weird turn of events, Steve Wozniak comes back to Apple, but none of that is going to happen. For better or worse, the clear successor at this point is John Ternus, and there's a new report just out over the last couple of days saying that Apple is really accelerating this succession planning and that Tim Cook could be stepping down and out of his CEO role as soon as next year. We're also hearing that in 2026, Apple's going to be taking some pretty big swings and just in general, really kind of resetting things, which might honestly be the perfect time for Tim to step away and let somebody new come in and lead that new direction. And according to, again, everything we know, John Ternus is going to be that guy. Now, I reported just a couple of days ago that the consensus from analysts is that Apple is delaying the second version of iPhone Air, and we had heard they were going to be making some changes to this, but due to weak demand and weak sales and just lack of enthusiasm, this phone wasn't going to be getting a successor in 2026. In fact, we just heard a couple of days ago that the guy that was really responsible for a lot of the big momentum of iPhone Air has now left Apple for another company. So things aren't going super well in Apple's staffing department, and it seems like the iPhone Air isn't all that loved, both inside and outside of the company, but maybe there's a bigger strategy shift going on. In fact, like I alluded to in my previous video, not saying I'm a psychic, but maybe sometimes I have some good ideas, we're now learning that Apple is expected to kind of reset how they do their iPhone launches, that instead of trying to cram every single thing into one event in the fall, you've got multiple phones, you've got watches, sometimes AirPods thrown into the mix, that Apple's going to give a little bit more breathing room and honestly capture more of the momentum throughout the year and split up their strategy, where the fall is going to be reserved for the Pro phones and then maybe an Ultra phone or a special phone, more on that in a moment, and then the spring is going to be reserved for the E phone, the base phones, like think iPhone 18, and then also the Air phone and maybe something else. So basically, you're looking at 3 phones in the spring, 3 phones in the fall, and then maybe watch updates thrown in there throughout as well. Maybe some in the spring, some in the fall. Maybe they change that direction entirely. But basically, Apple's going to move to sort of breathe a little bit more and spread out their announcements throughout the year. And instead of kind of competing with everybody at one time through the year, kind of, give themselves a couple more chances throughout the year to attract different customers, which honestly probably been a long time coming. And especially now that the iPhone is expected to add more phones in the lineup, makes a lot of sense. But what doesn't make a lot of sense is that Apple's Black Friday deals are abysmally terrible. Like, it's almost like they are better off not even offering anything, but I guess who are we kidding? This is Apple. They don't really do deals. But luckily, if you are looking to score some pretty good deals for Black Friday and give your Apple product, specifically your iPhone, the upgrade it deserves, the folks over at Dbrand have got you covered, not only with some great looking cases that offer a lot of great looks and protection, but also they're here to protect your phone from this. For example, I have really liked their Ghost case. I'm never usually a fan of the whole clear case thing, but this year with the expensive orange iPhone I paid for, I want to be able to actually see and enjoy that pop of orange, which is why this Ghost case is so nice. Not only is it not going to get gross and yellow and just grimy like other clear cases on the market, it's also backed by a lifetime warranty, so if something was to happen, you'd be covered with a free replacement. But also, unlike Apple's solution, you can actually see and enjoy the color of your phone, and also some nice grippy material on the side to make sure you can enjoy your phone, but also hang on to it and not let it go flying. But if it does, some nice protective qualities built in just to keep all your bases covered. There's also the tank case, which looks like it's like straight out of Apple's prototype design lab. This is industrial grade ergonomics paired with military grade protection. And I hate saying this about a case, but it's true. It like looks almost so nice that you don't want to like touch it or obstruct it, but I just had to kind of throw it around a little bit to see how it was gonna do, and it did just fine. You truly are getting almost like a work of art of a case. Looks super cool here, and also surprisingly comfortable, paired with some really great drop protection. Of course, Dbrand has got a bunch of different options in their lineup. They are known for their iconic high quality skins, as well as you can basically give your phone any look under the sun you want to. Plus, they've got their idiot-proof prism screen protectors that I will say I've never successfully gotten my phone to get a screen protector installed with no air bubbles, no misalignment issues, and no hassle. But with this prism screen protector, I guess it's proof that miracles do happen, because it really is as easy as the marketing materials have you to believe. There are a lot of great deals going on. They've also got some bundles going on as well, where you compare some cases with a prism screen protector and save even more. And then also all orders are going to be paired with a free set of robot themed playing cards, which is kind of cool. And I have the urge to throw these all over, and maybe I can resist that for a few more seconds. So definitely check out the folks over at Dbrand. Check out the amazing savings they've got going on for Black Friday. That is starting right now and is going to be available for a limited time. So check out all the deals, discounts, and all the info you need to know right down below in the description. Thank you to Dbrand for making amazing cases, and thank you, Dbrand, for giving me a little fun in my day by letting me do this. That was worth it. So what exactly that means is that this year, we actually will not be getting an iPhone 18 in 2026. That instead, this coming fall, Apple's going to introduce the 18 Pro, 18 Pro Max, and the iPhone Fold. And then next spring in 2027 is when we would be getting the iPhone 18 and the iPhone Air version 2. So there's going to be, for the first time in a while, a pretty big gap between the release of one base phone to the next, which could be good because, again, maybe it gives Apple more time to refine some bugs and fix issues, and could honestly lead to a better phone. But on the flip side, means that you'll be waiting a little bit longer if you wanted to get an iPhone Air version 2 or an 18. But if you wanted a higher end phone, instead of releasing in the spring or, Apple taking a year off, it's actually coming a little bit earlier, which is nice. And again, it gives you more time, and hopefully Apple more time as well, to focus on those phones and make them the best they possibly can be. With this new sort of staggered launch could also mean Apple gives us some new experimental phones. So we have a base iPhone, and then we have the Air. That's kind of the dual phone lineup at the low end. I guess you can put the E in there as well. So there's 3 phones. And then at the high end, we would presumably have at least sort of 2 Pro phones, at least for now, and then a folding phone. And then we are hearing that in 2027, Apple could be giving us an even higher end phone, kind of akin to those rumors of an iPhone Ultra. So something way more high-end, way more premium, not exactly a folding phone, but like an almost all glass, maybe even curved glass phone that is really a special iPhone experience. Now, it's unclear if this is like that special one-off 20th anniversary iPhone that is kind of a one-time thing, and the Fold is going to be that third Pro phone, or if Apple does 3 or 4 phones on the high end, and they do Pro phones, they do a Fold, and then an Ultra or something else. There's a lot of opportunity here to do a lot of crazy new things. And again, given a new CEO coming in, maybe changing things up, maybe Apple becomes a lot less Apple-like and does take some bigger bets and try some new things. Maybe an Ultra iPhone is something we start to see basically every year along with pros. And I'm curious where you guys fall on this. Do you think that this new strategy is better for Apple? 3 lower tier phones, 3 or 4 higher tier phones, gives Apple engineers more time to make those phones better? Do you think they should just delay everything by a year and then not come out to phones, or come out with new phones till 2027 and then kind of give the phones even more attention and time to make them better? Do you think they should be releasing more, half-year updates? Please drop a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this and your thoughts on the new CEO, and I'll keep you sort of posted when that announcement is going to happen. But until then, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much as always. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see you in the next one.